you know, one hype carry, having to kind of deal with a pseudo second is very frustrating. But now Syndra comes through for Crownie, or rather for Nemesis, and Jarvan, Nemesis, and the Syndra in that mid jungle 2v2 after Cayman had a really rough game number 1. I wonder how much punishment he's going to take if he lands either on this Jace or another immobile mid.
Just give me any engage support here from Kasing, Leona, Nautilus, any of this. I think it's really needed. He's going to be the one engaging anyway. So it just has to be anything with the power to create play, especially for the bot lane. Having the setup, having the Maokai ganking through as well is going to be huge for them, unless that Maokai ends up going over to the bot lane in the hands of Kasing, right? I don't necessarily think so. I think it's going to be something like a Nautilus, a Leona, a Rel, something that can very clearly engage and pull up with the Maokai.
I think they really need the Leona because they're dealing with Jinx Syndra. Well, I really don't know how much I like this.
The Maokai.
Yeah. It is going to be Maokai support. I mean, I think this could end up being a little bit rough now for BULLDOG. I think their skirmishing is going to be kind of fine around the bottom lane in particular, unless this Reckless pick really breaks apart the possibility of a strong 2v2 or 3v3. But beyond that, I think Mel's going to take a little bit of time. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, Braum could really make this miserable. And I think there's no reason not to lock it in. So there you go. BULLDOG, I think they're just playing an uphill battle here. If they get lane swapped on as well, I think life goes from bad to worse. I think at the very least they can play at 2 items. That's kind of where they're...
The NLC, we're straight onto the Rift. No messing around this time around. No additional frills to these bells and whistles. Lost RATONES go for the early level 1 invade. Resets come on through. We said it might be a bit of a tricky one if the lane swap came on through. SION, the master of that. Even when lane swapping was just not good, when it was really difficult to pull off, you could still do it with SION because of how potent he was in those lane swaps regardless. And Jinx, of course, notoriously pretty good at turret destruction. She gets a chance to get up in range and use some of those minigun auto attacks. Try and play that one out here. Certainly looking for that invade.
We already saw Crownie and Reckless together putting a lot of emphasis onto destroying the enemy turrets in the previous game. You can imagine, I think, that that's going to be the same idea for them in this game, because this time they have the Jinx, this time they have the Braum again with the same idea to keep that Jinx safe for as long as possible. So I would not be surprised to see Crownie a lot around all of the lanes. Niantic, brother, you don't go to this
risky. I say, Braum level 1 is arguably the strongest champion in the game. That passive, that Q is very, very difficult to beat. Went to go try and mess around with it a little bit. Doesn't get hit by the Q and is mostly fine. Doesn't do much more than give Velia a bit of a love tap and leave it alone. And of course, no misfortune in the game, so that's not even an ability.
I'm quite happy we don't have misfortune, to be fair. We have, though, some interesting things already happening with Kasing on the bot lane being the annoying Maokai. BAUS is gonna find it much harder this time to do the BAUSy things that we saw from him in the previous game. But hey, this whole game, we're not just lane swapping. We are being lane spicy this time because we're just going around them with all of us. And Crownie's still gonna do the BAUS thing this time. Okay, thank you very much. We are not leaving the proxying alone again. Lost RATONES proxy, you can put an equal sign between them and it's gonna make so much sense.
Yeah, beyond that, of course, you did see the Jace go mid, pick up the experience that we have seen that as a kind of adaptation to some of the lane swaps. That's the level 2, but it'll be a 3v1 dive, lands the accelerated shock blast, goes into hammer form, goes to the skies, the Q goes wide, but the passive will still be there. Flag, drag. Tech is in the dirt. Woo! Flash away for Crownie, just about surviving. The other side, BAUS is gonna get some back. Oh no!
Oh, that's... Oh, he almost got all of them down. Look at those health bars on the BULLDOG side. They're retreating, but at what cost? God damn it, that was 10 HP on Crownie, by the way. He's still staying on the lane because he knows there is no immediate danger. They're going to push the wave a little bit and then recall. He's got a Dirk, and he's got Reckless. Hey, I think that's a little bit more important. He's got Reckless to his name.
That he does. This is not going to be a tank style by the looks of it, at least not to begin with. It's a BAUSy special. Would we ever really expect anything different?
No.
Early game, a little bit mixed. Good stuff. Lost RATONES did nearly lose Crownie on that dive, but got away with it just about.
Yeah.
But it is, unfortunately, BAUS clearing out the whole wave, gets a kill to his name. Feeling very happy with how that lane swap has started.
I really hope that Nemesis doesn't... Oh, no, he catches it. He catches it.
There's a flash available, can look for something more. Throw the W out there to Cayman in case the stun came his way. Went flashing on forwards, looking to get the autos, and the execute will get it with one more! And does so. Overpowered.
That's well played by BULLDOGs. having came in flashing forward, like you don't want to keep your flash if you can go for a kill confirmed onto Nemesis during the laning phase. And honestly, Mel is so annoying in that sense that you can't really dodge when she throws abilities at you because the hit bar on those things is absolutely insane. So yeah, they just catch Nemesis like that. Good catch there for Bulldogs, but BAUS, you know what? I said he's not gonna proxy on the bot lane most likely. Forget I said anything. It's BAUS. I gotta give him more credit. He's gonna die. Yeah, but he's gonna get this wave regardless.
Does so, but what it also means, because you've got no wave behind it, there's no real way for X-Fang to get towards any of these turret plates. Of course, nice quick pick up there from Lulis to get a kill and then back away from it. The Xin Zhao getting early gold will be really valuable here because it means you can threaten the backline when the Jarvan goes diving on in, try and crescent guard people away. You are going to be somewhat obligated alongside this Maokai to try and manage some of the dive coming your way. You can try and play full contact League of Legends. Have a look at this replay as Nemesis ends up being killed after Cayman and Kasingo for this play.
There is unfortunately simply no way for you to get out of it. Kasingo is right under the turret to make sure he is the one tanking it, which allows Cayman to just walk forward, throw in an auto attack and get out of it untouched by the turret, by Nemesis or by anybody in the whole world. Really cleanly played by Bulldogs. Gives a little bit of advantage to Cayman on this mid lane, but for now, I am surprised. Okay, I'm not surprised considering how bad Medic has been feeling so far on the top lane. Brother has 21 CS to his name. This is unfortunate. This is tragic for Bulldog because Lost RATONES are fine with their top lane dying. SION is okay with that. Medic is not.
How aggressively do they want to play this? The Sion's in the bush. Off to the other side, decides to leave. Thank you very much, observers. Playing with our fears as much as X-Fangs, but wisely steps a ways back. Has gone towards the lethal tempo, so likely will be on hit. Can get towards slightly tanky build. Nemesis has to be very careful here. The Solar Snare goes wide. Value looking to come around the corner. Sapling slow will be there. Flash forwards to get the twisted advance. They get the kill. Value has to flag and drag out. Nemesis 0 and 2 this game. Double kill over to Cayman. A much better start than the last one as Sion hits the level 6. Big lethality and powered decimating smash. Phase rush away. That's a good chunk there onto the Varus.
They'll just still here on the mid lane. The Grubbies have spawned with Lost RATONES bolting there. Maybe they can have a play. Cayman.
Turn around, comes through, and that's very deep from Value. He's going to get Bramble smashed away. The execute's available. Will not quite find it. The Burning Eclipse will not find that kill.
And now everybody from the block side has to retreat. Even Medic just looking respectfully from the top lane. Doesn't have level 6, doesn't have mana, so there is no say he has in the question of the Krabbies. Lost RATONES are gonna get these ones. Again, with the bot lane, having lane swap to the top lane, it's so easy to go for this early objective on the top part. Mythic.
Passive.
Oh!
That's surely dead. Last auto. Nicely played. Kill onto Jinx.
This is the worst case scenario for Bulldog right now with the Jinx, because you don't want to see her getting excited so early in the game. Jinx is such a snowbally champion. You give her some early kills, she says, thank you very much. Now I'm gonna keep killing everything that I see in this game, getting faster to my items, getting faster to my power spike. Crowley is feeling fantastic in this game. Just gonna go for a quick reset, getting in some components, getting in a big sword. We are already talking about a very scary Jinx on the lane. And it's still Reckless who's hugging Crowley non-stop, not letting anybody get close to the Jinx.
At least this time around, Nemesis nabs the big raptor.
That's magic.
Gonna force it to reset, can't quite kill it. But again, at least this time around, came in a much better position, has got some assistance mid lane, has got the 2 kills, and Syndra has to be very careful with her ability usage here, because if you ult poorly, if you scatter the weak poorly, it can just be no viewed back towards you with the rebuttal. Yeah, it's on a 35-second cooldown at rank 1, but if you just save it for when Syndra tries to combo you, the Syndra can end up stunning herself, end up ulting herself, and that just isn't fun.
You don't want for that to happen. That would certainly hurt. But for now, Nemesis is just hurt a little bit in the mid lane. That's why we see so much more attention towards Crown. If you want to accelerate somebody,
everyone knows the hit.
Pick someone who is already accelerated a little bit. Are we going to play aggressively here, though? We're talking about the potential dragon, so we can just rotate there. We don't need to go for a kill security before we do that. It's an easy dragon if we have Crown with us. So much DPS on that Jinx allows you to get the objectives very quickly.
And last game, Crowny ended up in a 200 CS at like 15 minutes. It was a ridiculous pace to be farming and took the early advantage in lane, took them to a huge amount of plates. Intake actually in a lot of danger here, gets knocked up by the decimating smash and solo killed by BAUS's Scion. BAUSy here to play the go to top lane, showing exactly where he got that namesake from. Lulis Gonna try and maybe trade this one back as BAUS and Cayman on top of Lulis might end up in a bit of a tete-a-tete. Knockup comes on through the 3 talent strike, the solar snare, a little wide.
He doesn't care!
The radiant volley just gets the kill. Cayman on the killing spree. Still gets all the wave. Still got the kill himself. Is perfectly happy to trade that out.
He didn't even turn around to look at them when they went for him. That is truly something. Oh, that goes a little bit wide. Who is there? Outside of vision. Oh, okay. I don't think any play is gonna happen though. I don't think we're going for a dive here. The super mega death rocket didn't hit anybody. So yeah, we just safely reset. Just, you know, making Will G's there, making sure that nothing happens except for Reckless deciding not to recall. Okay, so the situation on the top lane right now is not looking good for Bulldogs whatsoever, because this is Jace we're talking about. Jace really struggles if he's set behind so early in the game, as early as he was, unfortunately. He's still trying to farm it up. He's still trying to like go between the lanes to see which lane he can just settle in for a safer play. But for the time being, he's being set behind massively. He's gonna suffer without the first item. He's gonna suffer even versus BAUS, who has been bullied early on, but now the tables have turned.
It is a 2-level discrepancy top lane. It is a 1.6k discrepancy top lane. That is not a tank Jace build I'm seeing in there either. That is, yes, the grasp, but that is double longsword. That is pickaxe. That's not even building towards something like the black cleaver, which we sometimes see. I'm not seeing the tier inventory for the Thimble Winter second item. That's supposed to be a damaged Jace. I don't think that is going to make this matchup any easier. Nemesis now looking to lane up against him. Scout of the week just shy. With the speed up, it allows to jump on top of Nemesis with the to the skies, and Nemesis has to flash on out, even the level up. Nice play from Niantic to at least still show he's got a few teeth to him.
Medak sure has a lot of teeth, to be honest, and he does not shy from showing them to the enemy. But here, when you're 0-3-0 on Jace, it's a little bit hard to do that, so kudos for him for being able to do so. But right now, the Grubbies are spawning up very soon. Los RATONES surely would be looking towards that next objective, but with how the tables have shifted on the top side of the map for BULLDOG, with Medak finally feeling a little bit more in control of the wave, with Lulish being in advance around this speed, this should be the Grubbies for Bulldogs, unless Velja has a save.
Hell yeah. Thinking about it, throws the flag, knows what's going on. One grub secured, Smite was not used, so there's still that one up and available. How aggressively do Los RATONES want to come and contest this? I think they're not going to bother, except with a super mega death rocket that picks up one of the grubs. Objective secured.
Objective, in fact, secured. Kudos to Crowley. That was a sniper move. Oh, here we go.
Hang on, where's BAUS coming on in? As the Cataclysm's down, expect to survive. Nature's grasp comes on down, BAUS goes down, but he's still got a zombie form with some lethality behind him. Valiant trying to flash one out to safety as Cayman gets rocked by BAUS's zombie. It's the wrong game mode. This is looking like COD zombies out here. What is that, SION?
I don't know. BAUS is cosplaying a Walking Dead in this game apparently, because all he does, he dies and then gets something in return. Either some more minions or some enemy champions. Crowdy is still alive. Crowdy is still getting those tier plays thanks to Reckless, who is just there literally body blocking, kissing from getting anywhere close to Crowdy. This game is absolute cinema. This is Los RATONES game at its finest. And BULLDOG, honestly, they're finding some plays. They're 7-7 right now. They're going in terms of kills total with Los RATONES. But if you look at any other stats, it's not looking good for them, and I fear it's going to get accelerating. And Bulldogs, they don't really have the champions to play from behind. Everybody on their side wants to be accelerated from early as possible, and that didn't really happen for them here. An ultimate from Kasing to try to slow things down, and the fight is split in two. So Lulish is trying to fight everybody from Los RATONES with no success, and at the same time, BAUS and Velja are fighting Kasing and Cayman and kind of winning.
I mean, don't get me wrong. This Mel now 5-1. Should be scary. Has gotten towards the Seraphs early.
Yes, absolutely.
Is way ahead of this Syndra, who doesn't really have a good matchup into that one, and the clips at least down from the end. The problem is that this SION is 2.3k ahead. We've already seen what happens when Crowny gets to lead 3-0-1, up 30 CS. Already an item and a half done. The wild arrows stacking very happily in this game, and I don't know whether that's enough to realistically come back, especially when Mel, her range isn't necessarily super superb. We heard it from Jamada. Normally she wants people to come into her, and there is some value in this game, but what are you really reflecting? The rocket? Possibly valuable. The Syndra stun probably the most valuable, or maybe the full-on unleashed power, but not necessarily the easiest Mel game of all time. She's going to have to do a lot of work here as Niantic just eats Decimating Smash. BAUS yells at him a bit. Goes to the skies. Doesn't really care. Flash forwards? BAUS is just having it. Really wants that Jace flash traded by BNTech. Dragon secured. And really wants this turret. Might just go down to zombie form and say, that's cool, I'll die. And take the turret regardless. Rocket.
Oh, that was
really
close.
tries to get the turret. Okay. Gets a kill.
He gets the
That's
minions.
nice.
Hey, he has his priority straight, okay? He gets the minions. That's a little bit more important for him at the time being. Hey, he has Yomu already. How often do you see a Scion completing Yomu?
Axiomark. He
And
just got
Axiom.
Axiomark. Oh my days. And the kill's just been completed.
And he's a 3-5.
Swifties. Yeah. Yeah. That there is a reason why this playstyle generated so much frustration. Because the thing is, it works. And that's so galling. Came in, out of range of the Scout of the Week, lands a Q of themselves, could look to speed themselves up, looks for the Solus now, can't quite find it, but Kasing will bring out the roots. The execute comes on through, misuse of the rebuttal. It is soundly denied. Judge Nemesis says no.
Oh, and Kasing is now in danger if LG decides to go on, but Exafang is around, so they decide not to over-push it. Nemesis doesn't have the flash, doesn't have too much mana, so there is not too much you want to be risking right now with this bot. And Nemesis has gotten the range, he has gotten the kill, so he is now a little bit more stabilized. And Crowny is just not living this mid lane. You love to see that. He is still playing the same game as in previous game. He is getting in the money.
And look, BULLDOG's supposed to have something of a poke comp. The Jace, you got the Varus going on hit, yes, the Mel. Like, you're supposed to be able to play around those 3 damage dealers. Intake does actually do a decent job, goes to the skies, looks for some autos, backs in, powers it with the hypercharger. In comes Sion with the ultimate, yells cowards, and does go down the zombie. A hammer blow away will keep BAUS down, even with the zombie form there. A nice play from Intake, the rocket just wide, and nice little moment there for the Jace that has been suffering a lot this game.
I doubt he's getting much gold from killing BAUS, even if it becomes a repetitive thing there on the top lane. It's at least helping him in some form. There is still a massive gold deficit for Miata compared to BAUS in terms of the gold for the top laners, but it's still something, and more importantly, it allows BULLDOG to keep this top lane a little bit more balanced there. Outer turret on the top lane is still barely alive. There is like the minimal amount of health available for it, which makes situation there a little bit dangerous. If Lost RATONES decide to take a little push and destroy it, have a little bit more vision, a little bit more safety for themselves on this top part of the map. But for now, top part of the map is where BULLDOG feel much more comfortable, and that's why right now we're talking about a potential herald for them.
Look, at least this time around, BULLDOG are not down 6,000 gold. It's still not fantastic that Jinx, who is a massive win condition, is very ahead. You have, however, got your Mel to 5-2, has matched well into the Syndra, unfortunately died in that 1v2 there to Nemesis, who kind of broke some ankles by just not pressing stun to the right moment. They're going to try and turn around here themselves. Finding an angle, big solar snare, Velia is dead, executed by Searing Radiance. Lula's now in danger, stun comes on through, stun afterwards will go down, does not really stay around, but it turned around, Golden Eclipse! Make sure it's a good night. Crowny dies. Huge shutdown going the way of this Mel. Sion, though, in the picture is on the tin too. He's just not stopping. Someone needs to stop this man now.
Cayman will try to, but can you realistically stop this man? Like, even if you kill him, he will not feel stopped by that whatsoever. He'll just keep on doing the same thing. Getting the minions, getting maybe the enemies as well. What's your damage now?
Nice stopwatch. That means the Decimated faction can get that much value. Twisted advance forwards. BAUS now trying to run away with a phase rush. And Lumberjack Sion. He works all day. He sleeps all night. He's about to sleep for a bit longer in the ground as BNTech comes and puts him into the dirt.
Oh my god!
And the multi-path reference. Wait, that zombie is so silly. Doesn't matter all that much. Third kill for BNTech. Still down 2.3k. Because this Sion is a bit ridiculous.
So Bulldogs are taking the fight a little bit early on the mid lane. They decide they can't really do anything with it in terms of the Herald that's still waiting for somebody on the map because they need to rotate game into the bot lane and their health bar's a little bit too low to, try to do anything, and Lost RATONES are still there. So they're like, hey, we can at least go to the bot lane, kill BAUS, try to slow him down a little bit, but because of that, we don't really get much by killing BAUS, and we sacrifice the Herald that is going to Lost RATONES' hands right now. And Lost RATONES will continue pushing it because, hey, with this bot lane completely destroyed now, with this Herald, this top lane is not gonna stand for long either.
Nemesis possibly in danger here as Kasing goes speeding forwards. In danger himself, tries to Bramble Smash, gets knocked up, the passive is there. And Nemesis picks up a third kill. Dark Seal. Now it's 7 stacks. Ludus goes forward, try and clear out the wave. Chompers don't quite arm, but the turret falls. That means Jinx is excited. Crescent Guard forced to be popped. Brownie keeps autoing. Value gets inside the Crescent Guard, and Ludus has to flash out to safety chains of corruption. Land onto Reckless, who says, I'm just going to put up a load of trees, and runs away, courtesy of that Glacial Fissure.
Merry Christmas, everybody, but I am out and I don't think you're killing anybody on my team this time, at least. 12 to 11, Bulldogs have one more kill, but again, if you look at any other stats in the game, that's not looking good, especially in terms of the amount of turrets they've managed to get to on the top lane and the bot lane, but everywhere else they are bleeding, and bleeding heavily. And right now is not the time to bleed. There's a third dragon actually dying at this very moment because Lost RATONES are taking it, with Bulldogs having absolutely no access to it because of what BAUS did to their bot lane just a little bit earlier.
And look, Bulldogs, been more proactive, have got kills, have made plays made. It wasn't just a walkover. It felt like they were late to every play. They had Lost RATONES just kind of had their way with the map. Part of that was off the fact that Syndra, who's on screen right now, didn't have lane pressure, doesn't quite have enough splinters of wrath to get the execute threshold on the ult. Came in, throws out a rebuttal, and BAUS just hits him with a big axe instead. And I don't think the council member from Piltover thought this was on being a motion. Zhonya's buys some time. Though turning into a statue buys her a moment or two and stays alive, but my days. This SION is just unrelenting in the side lane pressure.
Is he building LDR? Oh my god, this SION, he already hits like a truck. And that is a time champion, by the way. This is problematic for
That's
Bulldog.
lethality. There's nothing tanky about this man. He's just got raw damage. It's ridiculous.
Hey, there is a thing as a SION as a champion, and then there is this thing as SION is in BAUS hands, okay? That's like two completely different champions.
I see the point.
Thank you. All right, now I see something else on the map. I see the timer, and I know that Altacon has spawned on the top lane, and Lost RATONES are taking it. No vision for Bulldogs, if I see that correctly, which means they don't understand the health spot. They cannot walk in, and they have a Herald on the top lane. What are you doing here?
Reckless and BAUS just bodyguard say, you're not allowed into this club, you are not important enough. And now they got withdrawals available. Join the Bank of Vatican and get the withdrawal cards. Very, very difficult. All the while, Mientik has tried to shove onto the tier 2 and get something back with 2 items on the Jace. Gone for the Ghostblade second to a lethality Jace themselves. Trying to get that one out. The problem is you're now racing against a Herald that was summoned earlier. Kasing slowed down, came and gets over, but it's still a 4-grub Herald charges. In goes Velia with the Cataclysm. Came in. Turks up the rebuttal, times it a little late, has the Sarah shield come on up as Nemesis now looking to land a scatter a week. Just puts the force of will to ensure that Mel is crushed into the ground. That laning phase feels a long, long time ago. The build as well, more about the extended fights, the overtime damage. And at this point, it feels like this Syndra is right back in the game. A 5th kill. Mientik flashing in to get to the skies, trying to get some withdrawals, but can't do it. And Lost RATONES. Every time in the mid-game, it just feels like they hit a point where they know their damage better than you do, know their ability to pressure structures better than you do. They'll claim an inhibitor, the Herald starts it, and the kills end it. Charge on in from the SION to get a chunk onto the turret. Do they just want to end? I think they do. XFN trying to play this one out, gets a speed up, gets one back, but it's not going to matter as Cayman respawned. They've got withdrawals to work with. SION gets a knock-up, will surely go down to the... Ironically, the Maokai there, Crowdy taking turret shots, and they've got a sliver of a turret remaining. And that is it. They have 1 inhibitor down. Double inhibitor turrets down, 1 Nexus turret down. Bulldog's base is tatters.
It's open. It's up there for the taking. For Lost RATONES, just go in and take it. There is not much to do on the map right now. We're talking about more than a minute before the next Drake, and that's the first objective that's going to spawn on the map. So what are Lost RATONES going to do? Because Nemesis?
Gonna try and get towards this Blatsko and gets knocked away. He's got enough for speed up, gets to run out to safety. No, you can't have that happen. And now Lost RATONES is gonna come over and try and play. Nemesis still got the withdrawal to work with, which is kind of feeling happy. To walk over, runs into a sapling and burns down. Oh, that's hilarious. X-Fang coming on over as Reckless and BAUS still trading this one out. Knocked up the Jace, who tries to get a Thundering Blow, gets a bit of a heal back and does okay. Surviving X-Fang trying to trade out as Velia. Leaped into the back line by putting down the Stranded and Dragon striking in. A double kill to the newer jungler, the rookiest member of Lost RATONES. So it looking like it this game, 3-2 and 11, having a stormer.
And And they're just not allowing Bulldogs to play in this game. No one is allowed to. Not even Exofang, for example, has been doing relatively okay in the first part of the game, but then finding a death after death. Even after really good ultimates he's been throwing at Los Ratones, they're not enough to change.
Tries to get the rebuttal down. It's not bad. That means Nemesis in danger and goes down. BAUS also desperately low, but there's enough of a slow onto Lulis that he can't chase any further. Still going to lose that final remaining inhibitor turret. Lulis chunked out, remember, doesn't have Progressive Guard anymore. So Crowdy says, you're dead, you're mine, son. Steps on forward, still excited. And so very happy to meet you. Reckless says, stand behind me. The Cataclysm, so aptly named, it's the end of days of BULLDOG. Their bark was definitely not as bad as their bite. They don't have anything left in the jaws. And Los Ratones are a plague on this game. They overwhelm Bulldogs.